Good morning. It's another beautiful day here in Central Florida. Dogs are up. Sun's not out yet. I think it's still sleeping. Can you hear the birds? I'll be quiet so you can hear the birds. Is Andy? Rosie, come on over here. Rosie, come here, honey. Oh, my flowers bloomed last night. Oh, yellow flowers. And Tana doing really well. Come on over here, guys. Come on. Andy, look. Look over there. There's your friends. There's your friends. See your friends? Yeah, it's beautiful out here. Andy had a seizure last night. He has those occasionally. He has epilepsy. So that's why I have to keep such a close eye on him. I rarely let him out of my sight. But he's doing good. He's had those since we rescued him. You hear those birds? What are you doing, Andy? Well, today I was kind of hoping to make some banana bread. Got several bananas I've thrown in the freezer, and they're multiplying in there. So I'm going to do some banana bread with a crumb topping. And then I was hoping to also, if time permits, as far as making these videos so that they're not so long, try to keep them below half an hour, is to make a tamale pie. I made that a couple weeks ago, and I really liked it. It's simple to put together. It's items that most of us have on hand readily anyway, and it's tasty. It's really pretty good. I like it. Sam's not crazy about it, but I like it. And right now Sam is in Jacksonville with his sister and brother-in-law. They needed him to come up there to help with some things, and he needed a break anyway, so I'm glad he went up. It's only a couple of hours from us. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is go ahead and sign off for right now here. And Rosie, what are you doing? What do you see? A gecko? I'm going to... Rosie, come here. Come on. Leave that gecko alone. Come here. Rosie, let's see if we can see the gecko. I see the gecko? Huh? No, I don't see it. But yeah, I'll sign off for right now, and I'll come back a little bit later and we'll start the banana bread. So in the meantime, you have a great morning. I'll get in the house and get the dogs straightened out and get them fed, and I'll see you at a later time today. You have a good day. Bye. Okay, hi. The dogs have been fed. I've taken my shower, watered some plants, did a load of laundry, which is in the dryer now. So what I've done so far, we're going to get everything ready for the banana bread. And it has a streusel crumb topping. It's really very good. But I've got my ingredients together, and what I did, since you have to take your sugars and your butter and mix those either in your stand mixer or your hand mixer. I'm using a hand mixer today just because it's easier to handle, for 2 minutes, and I didn't want to put you through that. So I did that. There you have it. It's creamed until it's light and fluffy. So what I've done though on the side is I've got my bananas, 2 cups of bananas. Now I didn't squash these up in it at all or mash them up, because when I put them in there, I put them in as last time, I like little bits of chunks of banana, and the finished product. And it calls for 2 cups of flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. However, I use 2 teaspoons. I like the cinnamon flavor, and just a little pinch of salt. And this is just regular all-purpose flour. It's not my milled flour. And then we have 2 large eggs, and then your choice, a 1/4 cup of yogurt or a 1/4 cup of sour cream. I'm using sour cream. I just like the richness it gives the dish, or the loaf. Now, so what we're going to do, I've already creamed the butters, and it's a 1/2 cup of butter, by the way, and 1/2 cup of brown sugar and 1/2 cup of white sugar. The streusel topping, I'll go into that also before we're finished, but that's 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, a 1/4 cup of, it's a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of flour, and 2 tablespoons, no, strike that, I'm sorry, I'm messing this up. It's a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and it's 3 tablespoons of flour, let me see, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and 2 tablespoons of butter, and then that's mixed up and coarsely chopped. See that? Probably go on the top. Sorry about that. I'm getting my butters and my flours mixed up. Got a little bit of a frog today, so excuse my voice. So what we're going to do, since this is already whipped, I'm going to go ahead and add my eggs. I'm going to beat those for a little bit. Excuse the sound of this mixer. And then we're going to add a 1/4 cup of either, let me put this down so you can see it. Sorry about that. A 1/4 cup of my sour cream, or you can use yogurt, plain yogurt. And we'll beat that in. And at this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and put the bananas, because if you put the flour in, you don't want to overbeat it. So I put that in last. Excuse my throat. Sorry, Andy. And there are the eggs, the bananas, the butter, the sour cream, everything's mixed. So again, this is 2 cups of flour, your cinnamon, your baking powder, your baking soda, and a pinch of salt. And we're just going to blend that halfway, and then I'm going to use my spatula to finish it off. Okay, let's take this out. There you go. Clean the decks here, guys. Okay, so what I'm going to do, see, that's not completely mixed. You don't want to mix it. It makes for a tight crumb. So just mix it by hand until everything, the flour is gone. You're seeing white streaks. And there you go. There you have it. See? So now we're going to put it in a 9x5 loaf pan. And I live in fear of things sticking, so I spray it and flour it. So we'll just put this in that pan. That's a lot of batter. I hope that does that pan's big enough to hold that. It seems like a lot of batter to me. Okay, we want to take our topping and sprinkle that on top. But it does say the recipe calls for it to cook 60 to 65 minutes. Now, when I did this about 6 months ago, this recipe, I put it in 2 pans and made 2 smaller loaves, which I probably should have done that today. But I just wanted to try to keep everything as simple as possible for you. Okay, so here it is. This is going in an oven 350 degrees. And the recipe says 60 minutes to 65 minutes, but check it 30 minutes in because you may want to tint it with aluminum foil. So until that gets done, we'll be back. Hi, and good afternoon. Okay, we're back. I just took the banana bread out of the oven. Well, not just now. I did it about an hour ago because it's been cooling for about an hour. It smells wonderful. I just wanted to kind of heads up. They're mowing the yard, so there's going to be a lot of noise out there. And Andy and Rosie, of course, are running all over the house, barking at them. So bear with me. And my internet's going in and out. So hopefully I can get through this banana bread and call it a day with this recipe. But to be quite honest with you, before I put this in the oven, before I closed out the last little segment, I did remove about 1/4 of the batter. I just knew from experience I was going to put that in the oven and it was just going to go everywhere. So I didn't want to clean the oven today. I wanted to get on with this tamale pie. But I want to show you the bread. I've sliced it. When I taste it, well, actually I already tasted it, but not on camera. But here we go. Let me lower this camera for you so you can see what we got. And there you go. I can get the camera to stay out. There we go. Okay. Here we go. It slices up really nice. Nice and soft. Oh my goodness, it is. It's a good recipe. It's just the batter is just too much for the pan. And here you go. See the crumb topping? Not too much, and it's a crispy crunch. It's not like heavy and hard to bite into. Get a little piece. It's good. It really is good. It's not hard to make. You'll have all the ingredients on hand if you have the bananas. Like I did, I put the bananas in the freezer. They've been in the freezer for, weeks and weeks. But take them out, let them thaw out. Smash them up, and you've got banana bread. So, hoping that you try this, and I appreciate so much you coming by and visiting with me today. And I'm going to try to be doing the tamale pie recipe for dinner tonight, and I'll get that tacked on to this for you a little later. So with that, I'll bid you adieu, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hi guys, tamale pie time. I think I got everything ready to go. I did a few things ahead so that you're not watching me dice onion or blonde pepper or anything like that. So right now I've got my, instead of, now this is a tamale pie, and you can put any ground meat in it you want. I'm using ground sausage. I like the flavor of it in this pie. But you can use ground turkey, ground chicken, whatever floats your boat. But I've got this. And I'm going to turn you down now so that we can start putting this together. I'll show you what you need. Okay, I hope that's a good sign. Okay, so in here right now, like I said, it's a ground sausage. I've got a tablespoon of coconut oil in here. I've got a medium-sized diced onion and a medium-sized poblano pepper, but you can use, green peppers, bell peppers, hot peppers, whatever works for you. So you're going to have a cup of corn. It can be canned, whole, fresh, frozen. I've got a can of black beans. Also with beans, you can use pinto beans. I've used those before. They're really good. Or white beans, any beans that you like, your family likes. I also have, it calls for diced tomatoes and crushed tomatoes, a can of each. But I had my own sauce that I had made, so what I did, I just used that along with a half a can of diced tomatoes because I don't want it too soupy. And then for a little bit of flavor, I put in a little bit of salsa, maybe a quarter of a cup. And that's it for this. So everybody pretty much can put this together with what they have on hand. Seasonings is taco seasoning. I put turmeric powder in everything, so I always put that in my my dishes. Onion powder, and garlic powder, and then a little bit of cumin, and a little bit of seasoned salt. And the seasonings are really up to your own taste, what your family likes. For the topping, of course, the recipe calls for the homemade version of cornbread mix, which is fine. I make that a lot myself. But with things like this, I want it to be quick and easy. No fuss, no muss. So I just get Jiffy cornbread mix. I use this, an egg, and some buttermilk. It calls for milk, I use buttermilk. So we'll put that on the top of this tamale pie. So let's go ahead and get these things in here. So right now I'm going to put the corn. We're going to put the beans, black beans. And you can double this recipe or even cut it in half. Like for instance, my husband Sam is in Jacksonville with his sister and brother-in-law this weekend, and it's just me. So I told my neighbor, expect to split a tamale pie tonight. So that's what we're doing. And the noise you hear again is the mowers. Thank goodness they're here, but they haven't been here in quite a while. The grass is really getting shaggy. So I'm going to put in, now you can measure this, but it costs like a teaspoon of your seasonings. I just use like dashes because I don't like a lot of seasoning in my food. So I kind of go, a little bit lighter. And especially with taco seasoning and things like that, that make a real difference. So I just, sprinkle taco seasoning just for taste. And you might want to put a lot in there. Do what makes you happy. It's your meal. A little bit of turmeric. A little bit. Go easy on the cumin. You either like it or you don't. I love it. And I don't put seasoned salt in it or anything like that until after everything is done, and I can taste it with the seasonings I've already put in here. This is so quick. The most time it takes is once you put the topping on your pie and it goes in the oven, and that's 20 minutes to get the topping brown. Plus, once it goes in there, or once you put all this together, it's done. You're just browning the topping and letting it come together a little bit better. So I'm going to put in the sauce, and like I said, the sauce. The recipe calls for a can of crushed and a can of diced. I just happen to have some of my own sauce left over, and I just added a half a can. Don't ship. I just happen to have some left over, which I added diced tomatoes to. Looks pretty good. And then I'm going to put in, I'm going to measure this because I'm not good at sight. So with this, we're going to put in about, I'm going to say a third a half to a third to a half. I might put in a little bit more. Just, we don't want it too soupy, but we don't want it dry either. I think that'll do it. I'm going to taste it and see if we need any more seasonings or any more sauce. Salsa. And you can bypass the sauce altogether if you want. You don't need it. I just like it in there. It just adds a little bit of a zing. It's good. Just like that. It doesn't need any salt. The taco seasoning and the cumin, all that just worked wonders. Oh, one thing I did want to mention. We got to put cheese. Now it calls for cheddar cheese, but I use the mixture of the shredded taco cheese, if you know what I'm talking about. You get it at the grocery store. But you can use any cheese of your choice. It doesn't matter. So we'll go ahead and mix this in. Now I made this one time and I put too much cheese in it and it wasn't good. So I just go a little bit on the lighter side. It wasn't that it wasn't any good, but it just, the texture, it was just too gummy, especially when it cools off. You know, when you take something out of the refrigerator, like leftovers or something, it's just impossible to reheat. You don't want that. See how pretty that is? It's a nice meal. And you can make so many different substitutions with this. Andy's over there watching the mowers. You see the mowers, Andy? Huh? You see the mower men? Huh? It's time for them to eat here pretty soon, too. Okay. I'm going to taste it again, see if we're ready to get it in our pie plate. It's good. Real good. So, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn this off. I don't need it anymore. Oh, preheat your oven to 400 degrees because we want to keep it in there 15 to 20 minutes until your cornbread, your topping gets brown. So, here we go. I'm going to put this in a regular pie plate. This is a 9-inch. Let me get a different spoon. Later in there. You know, you could also put like scallions in here. You can put mushrooms, zucchini, anything that kind of, you know, that you like. Just make this yours. This is just a basic, and I'm going to have some left over. I can always just put that in a freezer bag and freeze it for another small meal. I don't want to overdo this. So that's what we'll do. So I'll turn that off and get that out of the way. So now what we're going to do, let's put our pie. So now what we're going to do is just mix up our topping real quick. So you just go by the directions, and the directions just call for a package of the mix, and then the milk, which is a third of a cup, and an egg. But like I said, this is buttermilk, and it's a little bit more than a third of a cup because it's so thick. Open this. This is such a handy little mix. 50 cents a box this was on sale for. I just could not pass it up. Put our egg in there. Wipe my hands off. Can't stand my hands being sticky. And then milk in there. I never put the entire milk in there until I see the consistency. I don't, it's just the way I am. I guess I've been fooled too many times in the past. Yeah, see, I'm glad I didn't put all that in there because this is fine just the way it is. Now, also, you know, to dress the batter up or the cornbread topping up a little bit, you can add a can of corn, you can put jalapenos in there, peas and onions, scallions, dressed up to make it yours. Okay, and here we go. Let me get a smaller spoon because I'm going to ladle this on top. I'm not going to cover the whole top. I just like it dollops here and there. So here we go. See how this is? Can you see this okay? Make it kind of pretty. Now you can cover the whole thing, you know, use 2 boxes. But I just don't see a reason for it. Because you don't want to eat all bread. You're going to cover most of it anyway with just this 1 box. You have a little bit of the filling sticking out. It just makes for a pretty presentation, I think. Now people that like a lot of topping or a lot of bread, they might like it totally covered. But there you go. Have a little bit showing. And voila, it is done. So I'm going to put this in the oven, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, keep an eye on it, and at 400 degrees, and I'll bring you back when it's done. Hi, well, it's been 20 minutes and our tamale pie is now finished. We're going to dig into it. I'm going to show it to you first, and what I brought up, cut up some scallions, and I have some sour cream we're going to top it with. So I'm going to turn the camera down so you can see the pie. There it is. Isn't it gorgeous? So we'll go ahead and cut into this. Alexa, cancel timer. See what I mean about having a little bit of the filling pop out? Actually, what I was hoping it was going to do is pop out toward the middle, but as it was baking, it just baked into itself. So, but anyway, it's still really hot, which is fine. We're going to cut into it. Look, isn't that pretty? A little bit on the side. It wants to run everywhere now that it's... Now we'll take a little bit of sour cream and a few scallions. And there you go. Tamale pie that you and I made today. Isn't that pretty? I guess I should taste it for you, huh? I'm still full of banana bread. It's really good. The cornbread sets it off. It's got a little sweetness to it. And then the sour cream is cool. And you got a little bit of a crunch with the scallions. So that's a nice meal. And you probably have all this in your pantry right now as we speak. So I just want to thank everybody for stopping in and being my guest today. And hopefully tomorrow, if it doesn't rain and the sun is nice and shiny and we can take the dogs out in the morning, I'll do another video with them and we'll greet the day together. So sending you best wishes and hope for a great future. Thank you for visiting with me today. Goodbye. Hi. Well, it's been 20 minutes and our tamale pie is now finished. We're going to dig into it. I'm going to show it to you first, and what I brought up, cut up some scallions, and I have some sour cream we're going to top it with. So I'm going to turn the camera down so you can see the pie. There it is. Isn't it gorgeous? So we'll go ahead and cut into this. Alexa, cancel timer. See what I mean about having a little bit of the filling pop out? Actually, what I was hoping it was going to do is pop out toward the middle, but as it was baking, it just baked into itself. So, but anyway, it's still really hot, which is fine. We're going to cut into it. Well, not ready? A little bit on the side. It wants to run everywhere now that it's... Now we'll take a little bit of sour cream. And a few scallions. And there you go. Tamali pie that you and I made today. Isn't that pretty? I guess I should taste it for you, huh? I'm still full of banana bread. It's really good. The cornbread sets it off. It's got a little sweetness to it. And then the sour cream is cool. And you got a little bit of a crunch with the scallions. So that's a nice meal. And you probably have all this in your pantry right now as we speak. So I just want to thank everybody for stopping in and being my guest today. And hopefully tomorrow, if it doesn't rain and the sun's nice and shiny and we can take the dogs out in the morning, I'll do another video with them and we'll greet the day together. So sending you best wishes and hope for a great future. Thank you for visiting with me today. Goodbye.